Hi, I'm Toni Swinehart with MCP's Full Court Press, brought to you by House of Flavors Incorporated and Spectrum Health Ludington Hospital's Orthopedics. Today we are here at the Mason County Central Schools. We are with Brent Lyon, who is right now our JV girls basketball coach. And thank you, Brent, for taking time out of your day.
Thanks for asking.
And so how did you come about getting the position of the JV coach, and when did that start?
Yeah, this is my 6th year. So 6 years ago, Coach Swinehart called me up. Carl Schaefer was the JV coach at the time. He took another job south at Waterville, and Mike was looking for someone to be the JV coach again. And I had a daughter in the program. She was a freshman at the time, Natalie, and I'd helped out a little bit with Carl when he was in his first year as a JV coach. So Mike asked me if I'd like to do it, and I said, heck yeah. I'd never, it was something I just always kind of wanted to do, and when he asked, I gladly accepted.
Now, when you were in school, did you also do basketball? Because
Yes.
you have some height.
Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, your children have height a little bit.
Yeah, I went to Ludington High School,
Okay.
graduated in 1990. I had some unbelievable coaches there, starting with my grandfather, Captain John Meisner. He's the one who instilled in me, which I instill in all of our girls, fundamentals, proper form, proper technique, dribbling with your eyes up, all those
Yes.
things. And then it went to Gene Shank, who was Thad's dad.
Okay.
And Gene Shank was, like I said, he's one of the best coaches at Ludington High School ever had. And I was lucky enough to learn from him, and he coached me for 2 years in my 8th grade and my freshman year.
Okay.
And then Tom Kudwa and a couple others, Tom coached here for a little while, and then I got a year with him. And I learned from a lot of really good coaches. And when my kids grew up and got into sports, got into basketball, it was kind of something that, I started in the 5th grade. Mike asked me if I'd take over a little bit, because your kids we have daughters who are in the 5th grade now.
Yes.
And, this was years ago. I have 5 kids, so it was a long time ago.
Right.
But he asked me to do that, and that kind of blossomed into where I'm at today.
Yes. Well, wonderful. And I think, too, when you have good coaches growing up, or that instill really good, like you said, fundamentals and following through and that type of thing, it really shows when you coach a team. And the girls that you have now on the JV squad, you have had, of course, you've been here 6 years, so you've had these same girls for a couple years now. And there's quite a few girls that are on the team that really have been shining through.
Yeah.
So kind of go through, who are your, I don't want to say star players,
Right,
but
I can't say that.
Because you're their
They're
team.
all
They're
good.
all
They're
wonderful.
stars.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all really good.
So what are your hopes for these girls that are currently playing?
Well, my sophomores that are playing this year, they had a 13-7 season last year, which was the best season that the JV girls basketball teams had in 10 years plus.
Oh, wow.
We had a really, really good year. And the freshmen that we have coming in this year are coming off an undefeated season as 8th graders. So it's going to be a really good mix of sophomores and freshmen. And as we come together, I'm looking forward to big things. We were talking before we started that with COVID, our season's been condensed to 18 games, and it's jammed into 2 months.
Right.
So we're going to have a little bit of practice and a lot of games.
Right.
So it's going to be fun. It's always fun to watch the dynamics of how they all come together. How the sophomores mix with the freshmen. Because the first practice we come in here, sophomores are over on this side, freshmen are over on this side. I'll walk in and say, hey, we're a team. We got to mingle. And all of a sudden we all start shooting at this basket. It's just how it goes every year.
Right.
And it's the best thing about it is watching them grow together.
And I wonder if, because you said there's going to be several games that are going to be back to back to back,
Yes.
I wonder if that will help them improve, as well as if they're not having as many practices, if they're playing that many games in a row and playing against other schools. I think that might even be a help, don't you?
I would assume so. I hope so. Or we're throwing them in the deep end right off the bat.
Right.
So we're going to have to swim from the beginning. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun. I had a week with them right off the bat. Our first week was really good, and I could see things starting to come together. You could see the kids starting to get what I want to do and what we want to do as a program.
Right.
So, we're going to like I said, if we get the lid ripped off on December 20th, then we're
Yes.
going to come in and work all Christmas break and be ready for January 4th.
Okay, and that was another thing too, is I was going to ask, will you be able to practice during break? And that's wonderful. If it's okay with, what is it, the health department is the one that's, and the CDC are the ones that kind of giving the guidelines right now. So that would be a wonderful advantage.
Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah, so how many years do you see yourself continuing to do this? Will you do this? Your youngest daughter, Ella's in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So will you do it with her coming up through?
It's a trick question. If I can make it that long, I definitely will try. When you start this, when you do coaching, you can't go 1 foot. You got to go both feet in.
Right.
And when the season starts, it's a long season. It's 4 or 5 months long, and it's a lot of time. But I see myself continuing as long as I can, physically and mentally, and with my job. If it still goes well, I'll still go until Ella graduates, and then I'll turn the reins over to somebody else. That's if we decide, Mike and I and Travis and Lindy all decide to keep going,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I was going to say you have a good coaching core because you still have. Now, is Lindy formerly Pappas?
Yes, Gillett, Lindy Gillett. Yeah.
Okay. Now she had a baby. Now is she going to be coming back then?
Well, she's told me she's going to give it a year.
Okay.
But we'll see. Obviously she's a new mother, and we got to play it by ear.
Right.
We knew this year she'd be taking off. She's told me next year she might be back, but she's a new mom, so
yes.
I can't put any pressure on her.
No.
We have Travis Altman to join Mike and I, and Travis coached with Coach Tuca for a couple years on the boys' side. He has a daughter in the 5th grade, also Jordan, and Mike asked me last year, he's like, hey, who do you think can help us out? And I immediately went to Travis because, he's a pretty easygoing guy. We pretty much get along really well, and he's fit in like a glove. We're kind of like a little family, Lindy, Mike, and I. Travis joined right back in, and now there's, the 3 or 4 of us, and we work really well together.
Yes.
We do.
Well, that's wonderful. So this year, because you're not starting until after the break, obviously, what are your hopes going forward for the future for also not the JV but the varsity? I mean, these girls that you have, of course, next year some of them will be going up. Mm-hmm. So what are your hopes for the future of MCC basketball? Our
future looks really bright. From the 4th grade on up, it's fun for me to know these kids. I know almost every 4th grader who's playing basketball, 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way up to senior in high school. And with our youth program, it's been a blast to watch these kids. I'll see them in the grocery store, I'll see them in the store, and they'll look at me, they'll kind of give me the side eye and do a little wave, and I'm always like, hey, how you doing, kiddo? It's really fun to watch. And as you can tell our program's growing from what our youth have done over the years. We got, like I said, we got last year to our 7th and 8th grade where they lost 1 game combined.
Right.
The 7th and 8th grade last year both won their conference title. The 5th grade, 6th grade, they're all coming up. They're all working hard. I think the future for MCC basketball, girls basketball, is really bright. I love being a part of it. I really do. It's fun to watch these kids grow. From when I get in as freshmen to watch them now as seniors is so much fun. It is. It's so much fun.
Well, and it's bittersweet in a way because they're going to be leaving, but you've watched them grow, so it's kind of wonderful to watch how they evolve.
Yeah, I'll still send kids who are 5 years out of the program. I'll still send them texts on their birthday, or they'll send me texts. I got a text the other night from a former player saying how much she missed it and how much she loved what we did for her, and things like that make you always want to come back, and continue to do it, because that's what you do it for. You do it for the girls and the community, and but mainly for them, and to keep them interested in basketball and keep them on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
Yes. That's a big thing.
I think it is too. I think team sports, not just team sports, but sports in general, whether it be individual or team sports, I think it helps as you get older and then go into adulthood. It does kind of keep you on the straight and narrow because you have an accountability when you're in sports when you're younger that kind of follows you throughout your life. So
always. Teamwork, I always promote the team, right? The team, it's the old Michigan saying, the team, the team, the team. That's kind of what I've kind of grown to say to the girls. And they kind of know, as they grow in life. Like I said, if I see them in the grocery store, if I get a text from them 5 years later, it's like, all right, hey, they still think about me. We did okay. That's why we do it. That's why I do it.
Right. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today, Brent.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
When you start, and hopefully everything goes well and smoothly once we get going with the girls. And
all right.
I know that there's going to be probably limited in-person attendance, but
it's a shame, but that's the way it is right now.
And if they open it up to more people eventually, you'll probably see me there.
I hope so.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for more news, go to MasonCountyPress.com.